Welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. Welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. Today, we are talking about one of the biggest names in sports media, Shannon Sharpe. Who isn't talking about it right now? It is absolutely crazy. So with reports swirling around his personal life and some controversial allegations, we have to ask, can one scandal cost you everything? Shannon Sharpe, a man with deals worth over $100 million on the table, is now facing a public conversation about kinks, consent, and power. So is this just another case of a Black man being scrutinized more harshly, or are there deeper legal and moral issues at play? We're talking race, legality, reputation, and the high stakes of playing with fire when you're at the top. Now, listen, before I introduce my beautiful royal court today, I want to let you know that we will be talking about some very sensitive things. So if here's your trigger warnings, we'll be talking about SA, we will be talking about grape, we will be talking about all sorts of things that may trigger you if you have that kind of history. So we just want to let you know that in advance. You know, if you can't stick around for that, that's cool. We understand, because we know you got to take care of you, right? But listen, I want us to know who's on my panel. Absolutely love my sisters. We have Minister Connie, entrepreneur, real estate investor, and author. We have Nichole, Sheldon, who is our attorney. Ooh, I can't wait to ask you some questions. We have Marlo Lathan, TV film producer, and we have Yolanda, Spivey, insurance broker to the stars. Hello, ladies. Listen. I'm coming in hot off of being a whole week of relaxing, not listening to no news, not checking on, didn't even put a SIMS card in my phone. So to come back to this and see that this was going on was actually pretty shocking for me. So I want to just ask you your initial reactions. We keep it short and sweet, and we'll get into it a little bit deeper. But what was your initial reaction when you heard of this story? And I'm going to start with you, Minister Connie.
I was very surprised. I always watch him. I think he has some great hosts, people that he brings on, and he's a great host. I enjoy listening to him. I was very shocked, but not so much as to, him dating white women. I wasn't surprised about that, but I was definitely surprised about him being in the media with this bad news.
Because lately we've been hearing media all of his great interviews. So this one, you know, there's always controversy and fun around his interviews, but then to have him be the center of this. How about you, Yolanda? What's your initial thoughts on this?
I'm not surprised. Typical that he didn't protect himself. I have my theories. Okay, let me just state my theory and put it on the table. I think that this is a bigger cover-up because there's been speculation for years that Shannon is on the DL. So I think that he would risk it all just to prove that he's not gay.
Wow, y'all schooling me because I surely didn't know. Oh, shut the door.
My goodness. I really think that he risked it all just to prove that he's not gay, and he put all his money on the line.
Wow, shocker. What about you, Marlo? Because I gotta sit into this for a few minutes. I wasn't even ready.
I mean, I wasn't surprised. I guess, I don't know. Look, man want to play slave and master daughter. What you want me to do about that? Ain't nothing I could do about this man's sexual proclivities. He want to have a little slave fun in the bedroom. Do your thing, Shannon. I hope that it is not as extensive as she claims. But also, I didn't know he was a super freak like that. So
I think it's always shocking when you hear that people are super freaks. I mean, but hey, listen, everybody got skeletons in their closet, and I don't give a damn what you do in your bedroom. As long as you ain't hurting nobody, you ain't hurting no babies, no animals, no old people, do your thing. I ain't gotta know. Just keep it to yourself. How about you, Nichole?
You know what? In listening to Yolanda, she like my big sister. So I'm over here like, you know what? She is onto something. When I saw it, I thought, darn it, if this ain't the same conversation, always working. Sorry, y'all. If this ain't the same conversation that I just had with my son and his white wife. White women terrorists have been killing our boys for years and they ain't figured it out. That's what I felt like.
Wow.
But in what Yolanda said, when he had his scandal with the Instagram sex thing where, oops, I pushed record. I was like, then I felt like that, Yolanda. I was like, nah, he's trying to get some street cred. My question for you all as we go through today is, would this change? Would the talk and the rhetoric and everything change if it was a Black woman? If it was one of us?
But someone else threw Tracy Ross in there, and then somebody debunked that. They was like, listen, yes, Tracy Ross ain't out here dating 19-year-old white boys. She not doing it. Like, that's a different thing. So stop trying to bring something else in when you talking apples to oranges there, babe. Apple to oranges. But let's check out the video and then we'll get back into this conversation. I just wanted to hear what everybody had to say because, Lord, I'm going to have to pull a fan out on this one. Let's check it out.
This is a shakedown.
Facing rape and sexual assault accusations, tonight Shannon Sharpe is not backing down.
I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right.
Today, the former NFL star turned podcaster posting this video statement in response to a Nevada civil lawsuit filed by a woman who says her consensual relationship with Sharpe eventually led to multiple assaults. The lawsuit also accuses Sharpe of secretly recording their sexual encounters without her consent. The plaintiff, listed as Jane Doe, is represented by attorney Tony Busby, who has represented accusers in several high-profile sexual assault cases, and who Sharpe called out by name.
Tony Busby targets Black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself.
Also new today, Jane Doe's attorney releasing an audio clip alleging it shows Sharpe threatening the plaintiff.
I'm not going to hang up on you. Here's what it is.
The plaintiff says, "Don't manipulate me." Then Sharpe allegedly responds,
"Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the out of you when I see you."
There's a lot in there, but listen, I want to bring up a few of our comments from our viewership family. Listen, we love to hear what you guys always say. What do I always say? We don't talk at you. All right. We talk with you. So we want to hear some of your comments. And Incog said that I work in talent relations, and the sister is right. This is an old Hollywood scheme. Cover-ups. It sounds like a cover-up, right? And then there was another one that was very interesting that I thought Incog said, and he said, Shannon has no excuse. He is a veteran athlete turned commentator who was schooled since the days of the rookie synopsis about morality clauses and groupies. He knew better. Oh, that's a good place to start. Nichole, I got to go to you.
Well, hold on. Let me see. Okay, yeah, you'll have to call me later, Shannon. I got to talk about your stuff. What? All right, so he heard we were talking about him. He needed some expert legal advice. I had to, tell him, wait a second, I got you. But first we gotta go through it because Yolanda has some good
Go
theories.
to the fire. Go to the fire.
No, so
Should he have known better?
what'd you say?
Should he have known better? I mean, the last
He
time
should have
like
known
he grew up old school. He should know better.
You know what? I almost want to know. I almost want him to get tested to see if the concussion issue that the football players had. Maybe that's what's going on because he lost it. You didn't learn from OJ. You ain't learned from Jonathan Majors. You didn't learn from all these other people who are going through it. Come on. Now, his approach if you're gonna do that, then I'm going to leak everything else. I think that was an okay strategy, not a legal strategy I would have used. So I'm not too sure that whoever is orchestrating his PR and his defense, legal defense, know what they're doing. But should he have known? You darn straight you should have known. He should have known. This is not the first time this scenario has happened.
It's not an if.
But they also lived together. She moved in with him into a home. I can't remember if it's Arizona or Nevada, somewhere out west. And she actually lived with him for a little while, which is why he was like, oh, well, you gonna throw dirt, I'm gonna throw dirt. He definitely should have known better because as an NFL player, he was a player when they had big contracts. He wasn't necessarily a big endorsement guy. But even with the NFL, you sign with a team, you do have a morality clause that's in that contract. So he should have known. Working with
Speaking of contracts, he should have had an NDA. He didn't learn from Usher and all that. Where's his legal team? Where's his good advisors? The advisors that say that if she gonna move in with you, you need to put some surveillance or cameras. I trust no one. None.
Right.
Sorry,
Marlo. You really can't. But listen, Double A says the convo starts and stops with him being 56. And her being 19 is disgusting. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Woo! It's a good show right here. But I'm biased. If you are just tuning in, you are watching Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. My name is Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood, and I'm the proud producer of this show because it is lit. If you want to receive notifications for when we go live Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All you have to do is text the word Queens to 87948. That's Queens to 87948. That's QUEENS to 87948. Also, if you want to grow your money and not blow your money, all you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. There's all kinds of resources, there's courses, there's free giveaways. There's just no reason to be broke in 2025. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. Obviously, you don't want to be entertained here. You want to know enough to grow. Wait, I need to put that on a shirt. You got to know to grow. Got to know to grow. So know and grow with flynubianmoney.com.
We got you. You know what to do. Flynubianmoney.com. Help you build your financial house and make it stable because God knows right now everything is upside down. So go to flynubianmoney.com, get your skills on point, and learn something new to protect your financial household. Listen, I want to tap in a little bit to this age thing, okay? And I do want to kind of also tap into the fact that we are looking at different cultures. Hey, listen, everybody thought it was cool when Hugh Hefner was doing it, right? There wasn't any arguments or anything. Of course, now that the man is dead, you're hearing about all these things. However, he did have NDAs. And this is why you didn't have a lot of the stories other than hearsay out here in these streets. But when it comes to our people, I mean, you would think that he would have better legal representation. So I want to ask you, Yolanda, do you think that Black men are more at risk of losing everything over these type of allegations? Because historically we have.
Of course, because they don't think with their heads. I'm so sorry. One thing I don't understand about Black men in those positions is why you don't learn from your white counterparts. Okay. Leonardo DiCaprio, for instance, he doesn't date anyone below over 25, excuse me, over 25. But you never hear him in a scandal. Okay. And when his girls turn 25, he dumps them. He gets a new one. Why we don't hear him in a scandal? Because he's smart. You know, he makes them sign NDAs. He, cover his tracks. Not saying that this is good, okay, but he protects his ass. That's the thing. He is protecting himself. And I don't understand why Black men in those positions, they're not protecting themselves. They have all the resources. They have all the friends. Everybody is there for them to tell them how to move. And I'm pretty sure someone warned Shannon about this. We saw Monique warned him to get a woman his age. He didn't do it. But and yes, Black men will lose more in the end just because they're Black. The system is it's set up against them anyway. And they don't want to see us wealthy, okay? Anytime we get money, they'll try to extract it out of our hands any way they can.
Well, we're seeing that every day, right? I mean, even more so, obviously, than we have in many years. We know that, but now we definitely seeing it.
Exactly. So why be so stupid and not protect yourself? A simple NDA would have deaded this, which is why, Lala, I believe, okay, is a bigger issue here that he's trying to, cover up or trying to prove.
But so much on the table, though. I mean, your whole career, this new money that's coming in. But listen, I do, like you said, I do believe people who to me are honest enough to tell the man they love you enough to tell you the truth. Right. What's wrong with what Monique said to him? She wasn't the only one.
Mama spoke.
Dating. What advice? If somebody, if a group of women were in here and it's like, come on, they talk to us. How this dating thing? Because it's Mo is different now than when you and I.
It's different, baby. I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
Are you trying to say what you trying to say? Mo?
I'm looking right at you.
I know you looking at me.
I ain't backing down. You better take your old ass and get somebody to love you.
Damn, Mo.
Now I'm looking right at y'all. Let me tell y'all what Shannon needs.
Let me
tell you what my baby needs. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl.
I know.
This is your auntie talking to you. Take your old ass and get you an old bitch out there that can love you old. You're trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it. Come on home, Shannon. And y'all stop putting lies out about my brother because I was in my feelings when y'all said he didn't date Black women. Y'all stop that shit. You stop, and then he might throw a white one in there every now and again. And it's okay. It's okay. Because sometimes, we ain't into everything. Yeah. We don't do everything. So sometimes Uncle Shay Shay need a spice of life.
Uncle Shay Shay need a spice of life, but this does bring me to a question. Now, listen, I think Monique, people always poo-poo Monique, but Monique has she's always been real. She'll throw in her comedy, but she's always based in truth. And I can see that in her. She's not just out here trying to cause trouble. She's out here educating y'all what's going on behind that black curtain. Exactly. But with that, Minister Connie, I have to ask you this, because there's always a conflict between this. We're doing a lot of boycotting and things of that things. By the way, y'all, it is Blackout Friday. Round up in these pots. Okay, Fly Nubian, we do the Black Friday. We no pay no money to nobody who don't like us. So I hope you are still participating in that. But Minister Connie, can we still support someone publicly if their private life is so messy like this?
You know what? I say this, get a wife. You don't have to worry about all that. First of all, at that age, he should have been married, doing those things, and then it's consented. But if she lived with him, that's common law, that's consented also sex. So therefore, I know that his mama has told him about those white girls. I know she did because I tell my kids about them. So I know that conversation has came up in the family, especially he's from a black family. I know it did. But the thing is that she's trying to get $50 million of his money. That is a wealth transfer, and we have to be careful with the wealth transfer. And it's happening all the time. How many times that we see our black professional successful men that are with white girls, they end up with a lot of money. You know, they get a lot of money out of them. So you should see the pattern here and then get some sense behind it, but they don't. But Dr. Omar said that he's been dating white girls since high school. So therefore, that's his thing. And that's what he likes. And that's his business because she's a human being. You know, human beings date each other. But for me in my household, I didn't see a whole lot of things that was not right, and therefore I educate my boys, my grandsons, my son, and just everything. But real quickly, my niece dated. She went with a professional athlete, and she said the things that those white girls was doing in front of her face with her man was just unbelievable. And she said they had a lot of fights behind that because he played professional football. He was on a team, and I'm not going to mention his name, but she said that it caused a lot of problems. She said the things that they would do because they were after that money. So, black men, if you got, yeah, I don't care if you are a football player, if you're pro athlete or whatever, or just a professional person that got some money, protect it. I watched a movie, and everybody that came in this woman's house, she was a writer and she was famous. Everybody had to sign a disclosure. Everybody that walked in her house having dinner had to sign a disclosure because and the woman asked her, well, why do we have to do this? She said, because I'm protecting myself and my family. That's a thought for everyone.
It really is, but it's also very sad, isn't it?
It
that
is.
that our relationships are just not there. You don't know who to trust, and even someone you think that you love your whole life can turn on you in a heartbeat. We're going to take another quick break, and we'll be right back.
I know you're busy, you got things to do, and you can't take us on the go with you every single day. Good news for you. We are now on Spotify. So if you can't watch us, now you can listen to us on Spotify. Search Fly Nubian Money and all the episodes shall appear. All you have to do is like, subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, leave some comments, tell people how you love us so that when other people come along and are looking for a great show to watch, they can find Fly Nubian Money too. One last thing, and just in case you've been sitting under a rock, Fly Nubian Money now has an investment club. We are the Fly Nubian Money Club. It's easy. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com, and I am committed to bringing in top experts from all industries to help you level up. They're teaching us the skills that we need to compete in this market. We often say that nobody is coming to save us, not the government, but guess what? We're coming to save us. I'm coming to save you with the Fly Nubian Money Club. So listen, all you have to do again is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com. We have a 30-day free trial set up just for you, just for those people that are struggling. Even if you ain't struggling, you ain't got to struggle. I'm coming. Okay, let me stop playing. I'll see you soon.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it is getting ready to be the end of April. We have been doing these classes since the beginning of the year. So if you have missed out on them, fear not, my loves. They are there for you to go back and rewatch. Make sure that you do the Fly Nubian Money Club. Go and do it now. We have a 30-day free trial. It's worth your time. I'm sure you're going to want to stick with us. You're going to be learning a lot. Now, we talked about Shannon kind of, maybe covering up some things. Let's take a look at something that may show him covering up something. This is interesting. So this was him getting out the car. People said that he got out a certain way.
Hmm.
All right. I heard who said,
Yolanda did.
I mean, okay, so I guess I'm just stupid because honestly, I didn't really see anything. Yolanda, what do you see?
The purse, the prints, Okay, look, I'm from New York. I grew up around a lot of gay people. I went to a high school that was predominantly, they had a lot of gay boys there, men. So I just see a little bit of stereotypical homosexual behavior.
Okay.
There. I mean, you may not be able to see it because it just looked like he's walking, but the way he's like has his purse on him, and I mean, he looks like somebody's grandma.
But see, you had to point that out to me before I could see it. Nichole, you are really having it up there. Tell me what you know.
Now, I said the last time that I was on that my husband is a nerd, and he is. But I ain't never got to worry about if somebody approaches me that I'm not safe, because I know he will handle that, muscles and all, being a nerd. I wouldn't walk out. I would feel more manly walking out than what Shannon did when he got out of that car. I'm like, you got your skinny jogging suit, and maybe I know that that's a style. Maybe he was trying to create his own style, but the Legally Blonde pop that he did when he got out the car, I can't get with it. Maybe that's why he was with the little 19-year-old white girl. I don't know, because the black women I know, we not walking out with that. You better take your butt upstairs, go get some jeans and boots on. We ain't doing that.
Now, I mean, like straight men just dress a certain type of way, and I mean, how could it? That's a slippery slope because I don't want to, put that on him. But I just see something different. And I'm sticking by my original comment. I really think all of this is just to cover up the fact that he may be homosexual. He can come out now. I mean, the world is free.
Yeah.
The world is free. Come on out. Nobody's going to hate you less or anything. People will probably understand, but this all stemmed from when he had his little, I think it was his dresser. What you call those people that dress celebrities? Stylist. Mm-hmm. And there were rumors with him and his stylist being together. He used to take his stylist everywhere and treat him like a princess. So I really think that he's really trying to cover up that rumor. Those rumors are still haunting him. So he's going to go.
You know what's so interesting to me is they're going to always hunt you when they thinking you're not out. It's almost like they want to force you to be out. Then after that, you're yesterday's story. But the hunt is the chase. That's the reward, is for someone to out someone when they're not ready to be outed.
Right.
I think honestly, we've seen, if he were gay, we would know it. I mean, I don't know if he's gay or not, but I'm just saying in this day and age, we saw Bobby Valentino, we've seen Kinky, we've seen a lot of guys who got caught up in a situation with either trans women or just another gay man. Dwight Howard was another one. People are not afraid to release their productivities. If they having some kind of relationship and it's a secret relationship, they're not scared to release it. The same way this girl wasn't scared to release whatever they got going on, gravy babies and all whatever other nasty mess they were talking about in those texts. But I think that really the issue is a level of immaturity amongst specifically Black men, because that's who we specialize in, the Black folks, right? A level of sexual immaturity amongst Black men, right? We heard he did the thing. I forgot. I didn't know it was recording. Whatever lie he tried to tell about the live with the old Mama Shell and all of that stuff, right? That came after the hop out with the olive green outfit, right? The sneak recording to let you know, yeah, I'm knocking stuff down. Y'all heard that macaroni stirring, right? I think that he is an old head in a new game, and he got caught up in it, right? This young girl, anybody under 35 is constantly recording. Everybody under 30, some people over 35 are constantly recording. So if you're dealing with a 19-year-old, you got to know that girl is rolling that camera, recording your conversations because she wants the gravy baby payday.
Yeah.
He's asking her.
That's why you never sleep with somebody that doesn't have as much to lose as you do. That's that unequally yoked, Minister Connie.
That's
you don't
right.
get with somebody that doesn't have as much, because if you go down, I go down. If I lose my millions, you're going to lose some millions, or at least some thousands. That's that unequally yoked. And it's okay. I feel like with him, it's okay to date who you want. I'm not shading. Like I said, my son's married to a white woman. My brothers, they do their thing. my husband's father said that the black sperm is the thing that's going to eradicate racism, because it just take one and knocks out their race. But at the same time, going back to being a defense attorney, honestly, dating a white woman, not a crime. Dressed in an outfit, maybe on the line of being criminal. Dating a 19-year-old, no, it's legal. None of what he's done up to this point is a crime. And for her to take what they did behind closed doors consensually, because it had to be consensual. You were there all that time. You didn't release the very last video that y'all made. You released the stuff that happened a while ago, that was ongoing. So no, I think that he did get played, and I believe you're right, Marlo. He's an old head in a new game that ain't figured it out yet.
I know you got something to say, Yolanda.
Yeah, one thing that older men fail to realize is that when they get with these younger women are being raised on social media. Okay. Everything for the gram.
Yeah.
So they think that by getting with these younger women, oh, I got a young one, I can mold her and make her into what I want. But what they fail to realize is that social media is molding these young women and making them into what they want. So I'm pretty sure this young girl, she's only 19. She's still a teenager. That's another thing, a teenager. Okay. I'm pretty sure she done seen a lot of podcasts of women talking about get the bag and all that other good stuff.
She's on OnlyFans. She's on OnlyFans. This is part of her brand.
Right. You already know.
He made his money.
So that she is on only freaking fans.
Where them fans at?
He made his money.
Yes, she is on OnlyFans.
This generation makes their money on social media.
Right.
We talked about that last week. All these kids see is if I could be famous on YouTube. They see the TikTokers, the Instagrammers that are bringing in checks as big as what a football player is making, who has the notoriety. So you're right.
Yeah. So my question to him is, how can you be so damn stupid?
Well, hold on, he got kids. He got 2 daughters and a son in their 30s. Cat Williams don't try to tell him. Auntie Monique came on and straight called him out. He got people in the background like, dude, come on. We rap.
But that's because he spends his morning talking to Chad Ochocinco every day, reminding each other when they was hot, right? They both going back and forth. Who was hottest? Who was smashing the most? So he's living vicariously through his old self, right? Through this time that he spends with Chad. And he is in a state of unreality. This probably is she ain't too hot to me, but she ain't my type. So there's that. But I'm sure that there are hotter women that he could have found, but he thought, because this woman is already in a sex trade, right? She be on the OnlyFans clapping them cheeks for the clicks, that she could be controlled. But her God is money, and she is going after the dollars.
So he should have known that. So those are all big red flags. She's in the sex industry. Of course, she's about the money. She's about her bag. So why wouldn't he let her sign an NDA?
Because he didn't have Nichole. Because I'd have been like, it's about the money. It's about the money. How much your kitty cat worth? Okay. How much is it worth for you so that we can keep his reputation? Do this. You sign this contract. You give her the check. You shut your mouth.
So Nichole, which is why this is all so sloppy. This 56-year-old man should have known better, which is why I know for a fact this may be a bigger scheme to protect his image.
Shannon Sharpe is not a smart man.
It's his street cred.
This is not a smart man. We are giving Shannon Sharpe. Listen, I'm a football fan, y'all. I know Shannon Sharpe since I was a little girl. Shannon Sharpe was not a football player that gave interviews. I was very surprised when he became an analyst. This is not a man who is a thinker. There are thinkers in the NFL. I'm not knocking the NFL. There's some rogue scholars that have gone to the league in real life. Shannon Sharpe is not one of the rogue scholars. And so I think
But can you be street smart? Just a little bit.
I don't think he's street smart.
No,
He is a countryman. This is a countryman who does not. When he played football, he was playing for championships. I don't think he was getting out and having the party life when he was in the league. And I honestly think that Shannon Sharpe is living a new life. I think he's popular with this podcast, this club Shay Shay. He getting recognized. His career, he wore a helmet, y'all. Nobody knew Shannon Sharpe's face unless they were a Marlo that was into football. So now he's a podcaster. People see him. Now they call him Shay Shay. He got nicknames and shit. Like,
I really don't even like Shay Shay. That's another clue, Yolanda.
It's a whole new world for Shannon Sharpe. This is a world that he was not privy to when he was an NFL player. He was not a player. The tight end position is not a position that everybody checking for. He was not. Now he's a great player. He's one of the greatest ever, but he's not the player that the girls were checking for back in the day. He has a new life, I think, and he is unprepared for the girls of the internet. He should have listened to Cousin Monique. And he should have rolled this shit back months ago and he wouldn't be here. But lack of sexual discipline, and here we are.
But Marla,
Well, because of that, let's check out some of what he could possibly lose. Check out these stats. 70% of executives say reputation risk is more damaging than financial loss. Y'all, that's high. Shannon Sharpe reportedly has deals totaling over 100 million, including Club Shay Shay's Spotify deal and ESPN partnerships.
exactly.
And studies show that Black public figures are twice more likely to lose brand deals amid allegations, even before legal outcomes. I mean, look at those pictures. Y'all know every last one of those stories, don't you? 12 U.S. states still have broad laws that can criminalize certain consensual sexual behaviors if reported.
That's true.
I'm going to let all that sink in. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Are you a Black business owner looking to expand your reach? Well, has Fly Nubian Money got good news for you? We are building a Black business directory to connect you with customers who need your services. And here is the best part. It is absolutely free. Email us at info@realvirtual.net. Send us your business name. Tell us a little bit about what you do, what services you offer, your website address, and your contact information. That's it. Together, we are going to build and circulate the Black dollar. Get listed today and start connecting with people who are probably already looking for you.
Baby, they already looking for you. They already looking for you. Didn't I tell you we do Blackout Fridays? I do blackout every day. If you ain't for us, you ain't getting my money, okay? But if you can, if there are circumstances where you only can do this on a Friday, join us to do it. But listen, this is where you're going to be able to find the people that you want to work with. So if you have a business, make sure that you get us your information. Please give us all of your information. Please don't just say, hi, my name is Fred. Here's my website. Tell us a little bit about what you do, your contact information, get it in, send it to info@realvirtual.net. Okay. Let us, when I'm thinking about it, I go, but let's check out some of these text messages that were released. And then I actually want to hear what you got to say
I think
about
you might need a legal disclaimer on these too.
I'm going to tell y'all right now, listen. Click, don't, if you don't want to hear no nasty, then click over for a minute. I want
the
you.
babies to let them take
it. Okay. Text from Gabriella to Shannon. This was November 23rd, 23. I want to put my tongue in your beep and then marry you. Oh. Text from Gabriella to Shannon, January 12th, 2024. That's my daddy. Beep. I want you to put a big beep baby in me. Text from Gabriella to Shannon. Now he's releasing these to let them know. you better crave it because you're going to be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me. Do we have to go here? This just makes me sick.
No, she telling what her payday about to be.
Baby, she had that lined up. She made sure she put all the keywords in there. Marlo, she don't need your SEO. Of course, she got it down pat.
Well, listen, a black gravy baby is never gonna come up as a black baby, so it's fine.
Okay. Okay.
So here's the next one from August 11th. These messages are just a sampling of a broader pattern of graphic sexual communications initiated by Miss Zuniga. The evidence paints a clear picture. This was a consensual adult relationship that included role playing, sexual language, and fantasy scenarios explicitly requested by Miss Zuniga. The edited tape that Miss Zuniga, I was going to go ahead, but Nichole, I'm going to have to take a deep breath and let you take this over. What are you thinking about this? No!
Order in the court. I'm just telling you. This one, here's the thing that bothers me. She did use all the code words. She used all the code words. Mm-hmm. The thing is, this can happen to any of us. If we're honest with ourselves, I ain't got Shannon Sharpe money yet. However, the same thing can happen to me if somebody decided they wanted to get upset. With AI, anything can be done nowadays. You can use somebody's voice, their likeness, their words. You can even make the fake text messages on the screen. Right, on the computer for free. So that, for me, that's one of the things that is scary. Minister Connie, you've been really quiet though. I'm just kind of curious.
I really want to know how you feel about this part, Minister Connie. Like, should these sponsors of him or all these people who are giving them contracts, because you see, it ain't gonna be long now before we start hearing the people have dropped him, right? So should these sponsors and institutions that back these stars have moral clauses?
Well, in the spotlight, even as a minister, I have to show myself worthy of my calling. So I believe that you should have some moral clauses yourself anyway. So therefore, with my employees, if they go out and do something, they're not going to say that person's name. They're going to say my company's name. Yeah. So therefore, I tell my employees all the time, and there is a moral of conduct. So therefore, that is just the society anymore, because people don't name the worker, they name your company. So therefore, I believe it's very, very important. In every aspect, even if if you're a professional ball player or athlete or whatever, you should have a code of conduct. Yes,
I agree. I really
that's
agree.
Great legal advice for your business owners out there, or those who are trying to start their business. That's an overlooked thing that businesses don't understand. Is your employees should have the same branding as you. They represent you.
Yeah.
Plenty of law came from that.
Yep. And you can't separate it at some points. People don't want to be attached to any kind of controversy, but Yolanda, can someone in Shannon's position ever engage in fully consensual dynamics without a power imbalance? I mean, I always feel like right now, y'all, we living in a world where we better tiptoe, because you can blow and someone will say, ew, you spit on me. You're not even close to them. You can say the sky's purple and someone say, no, it's not you. Everything is that. So with these types of monies behind them, these people who have worked so hard to get in these positions, do you think people in stardom doesn't give them the freedom to be themselves?
No, I think that behind closed doors, they can be whoever the heck they think they can be, or whoever they want to be. All they have to do is get that Oprah Winfrey contract and have people sign them NDAs, and that's just what it is. When I was working for corporate, I worked for a bunch of lawyers, and I can't begin to tell you how many NDAs came across our desk. And I was doing the insurance portion, okay? But there was always like an NDA clause stuck up in the contract somewhere. So, I mean, it's just as simple as that. Unfortunately, they can't be loose, and just be who they are. They have to always protect themselves first before they engage with anyone, especially if that person doesn't have as much as them and have nothing to lose. So
nothing to lose. That's a powerful statement. When your back is up against the wall, okay, you got nothing to lose. Now, JD says all the sponsors and institutions are doing the exact same thing and worse. So they aren't putting any clauses in contracts. I find that very interesting. But listen, we're also
that's not true.
Like
that's why you lose the contract. Look, it doesn't matter what the people doing behind the scenes, y'all.
Right.
If I am representing a brand, there is a contract of behavior between me and this brand. There's a behavioral expectation that I have between me and this brand. And if I break that in any way, whether it's stated in the contract or not, because the language in the contract, Nichole will tell you, is very vague, because it can be a wide, broad range of things that can affect the brand. So that's just not true. It's regardless of what people doing behind the scenes, you govern yourself accordingly, because at the end of the day, ESPN ain't losing nothing. ESPN gonna sit you down and they gonna keep moving that ESPN train. So y'all get that out y'all minds, because that's
hold on, but don't get it twisted though, because this bad publicity is still publicity. So ESPN and the sponsors, even if they separate themselves for a little bit, or they separate themselves,
you still reap the benefits.
Uptick, because now people want to see. Now I want to look at the show now, because then I'm trying to see what they're gonna say. Are they being treated differently? Like, no.
Well, he gone. He done sat down. Already, he announced yesterday that he was stepping away from the show.
But in every article they mention ESPN.
Oh, it's great publicity for ESPN. Their stock is going up because they have more views and clicks and information about ESPN being released, just in terms of people writing it because of his affiliation. It's not hurting them, but also they don't want to be the ones that have questions pointed to them about a behavior of a contractor. So they're going to sit him down as he's sitting now, and they're going to move on and keep clocking those Disney dollars. That's what I'm saying. They're going to get their money regardless.
Yeah. Oh, this is just too much for me. First of all, I'm the one, I don't care if it's legal or not. I have an issue, and I'll be the first to tell you, and I've admitted this on the show. My father was 35 years old. My mother was 18. Okay. It's not okay with me. I mean, maybe at a different time and space, but to me, these men are getting older, but they want them younger and younger. And I have a problem with that. But listen, I also feel like our people was telling Shannon, listen to what Ken had to say.
Want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
There you go. Come on, Ken.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. And that's the truth.
Django in his
That's another thing. Shannon Sharpe is 56 years old. So he's more closer to that civil rights age movement. When a lot of Black people were going through the civil rights movement and things of that nature. And I'm pretty sure that he himself, especially being that he's from the South, has seen some things where he knows that he has to protect himself from white women.
I'm not Black. I'm OJ. There is a disconnect, y'all. When people are sent to a certain place and they get invited into spaces that they've never been, and they're told that they're great and they're told that they're wonderful, and you are told you're not like them.
Right.
You're a good one. You start to believe that mess. And that is how these men constantly find themselves here. There aren't a lot of Black sports agents, probably no Black sports agents when Shannon was playing the game. So his sports agent, his lawyer, all of his team was likely non-Black people, not people.
But his mom was
Broncos was mostly white.
So there are certain ways that we raise our Black boys. I don't care if it's now or if it's 50 years ago. When my son and his best friend went in the store, my son told me I was racist because I told him, you better not put your hands in your pockets. Don't look suspicious. Don't do this. Don't do that. Well,
I told my son to
show that. I didn't have to. I'm trying to keep you alive, little black boy who's going to be a black man. He's still a black man. You didn't lose that overnight.
Yeah, but when they
got
are in
comfortable.
those spaces where it's not them and they get invited into spaces they never been invited to, they start to feel special. When you are the MVP of the Super Bowl, you start to feel a little bit special because
where they at
people say
now?
that you are. And I'm not saying, look, he should know. I hope my son know. I'm gonna get on the phone, call my son after this comment, and be like, "You do know, don't you know, boy?" But
right
at the
You
end
gotta
of the
move
day,
differently. It don't
you
matter
got a
how much
mama,
money and what
you
circles
got a
you
mother.
gotta move differently.
Even Michael Jackson got taken down. He done changed his color and was the top, performer in the whole entire universe. Okay. And he still got taken down. They still don't see his example. You know what I'm saying? Examples of other people before him. It's just so.
My question though is the conversation is the problem, and this is what I keep dealing with. Is the problem the age? Is it because she's a white girl? Is it because he let his guard down? Is it because he likes kink? Because the honest to God,
I'm going to stop us right there because Nichole threw out some really good questions, and I do want to dig into those, but we got to take one more break because she threw out some stuff that we need to talk about. We're going to take this break. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the 4th annual Black Power Business Conference. Yay! I'm Dr. Lene Javette, and I created this space because I know what it feels like to be a Black woman building something powerful, but doing it without support, without strategy, and without rest. This space was created just for us. It's a space where we talk real, we grow big, and build businesses that aren't just profitable, but sustainable. This isn't just any conference, no. It's a movement. It's for Black entrepreneurs who are done doing it alone and ready to scale with strategy. I want you in the room. Whether it's your first time or your 4th time, welcome home. This is your space to be poured into, to grow, and to move with power. So grab your seat, bring your brilliance, and bring your bestie. And let's build something that lasts together.
Baby, you know you're going to miss something if you miss that. You know that. All you got to do is come on and see just how professional and beautiful she is. She's beautiful inside out, know everything about what she's getting ready to teach you. Make sure that you sign up. Now, listen, Nichole, you did throw in some things that I feel that need to be addressed, but I do want to say something from one of our viewership family. She said, why do Black men think they can play with Becky and Karen and think they won't get bit? I mean, this is the American way. I stand with Cat Williams because he warned this old man. Nichole, now you threw some questions out, but I want to hear what other people had to say about it. Is it all 3 or is it just one that bothers you the most? Minister Connie, for your initial reaction on those questions, what got underneath your skin the most?
It's all 3. The thing is that I remember when my son decided to start dating white girls, and my brother-in-law dated this white girl for maybe a couple weeks, and she caught rape, and he got 8 years, and so that always bothered me. And so when he got in high school, they all had cars and he didn't. So I ended up buying him one so that he could stop hanging out with them. But I would tell him to leave him outside, because you're not going to come in my house and claim that you were raped. No, not at all. So therefore, there's a whole lot of things. I get a little emotional, and people be like, well, I'm not prejudiced. I'm just prejudiced in my family. Put it that way. So therefore, I prefer that my family, my boys, my grandkids do not entertain that, because I believe that in my family, I do have some mixed nephews and nieces, and they are different from the rest of my nieces and nephew, because it's like they're just like, they don't know where they belong to me. And so we always show them love, but they're like afar off. They're like aloof. So I think it's a cultural thing that they get caught up in. And yes, they're after our wealth. They always after our wealth, no matter what it is. Athlete, creativeness, and business, they're after our wealth. Look at
Everything
it.
but the
Jitneys,
truth.
like Ubers. A lot of our families was raised up on our men running jitneys. right? Now it's Uber. What have we have not created that has been taken away from us? Because we didn't have the money.
Everything but the struggle.
Exactly. But the struggle. So therefore, yeah. I got to be
Yolanda,
real, even as a minister.
I want
You
to play
heard
devil's advocate real quick. Can y'all think of a time when it was a black woman who threw a black man like this under the bus?
No.
Because I keep thinking I know I'm
the only one is the Mike Tyson situation.
Just that one.
That's the
my
only
thing
one.
is I'm a Proverbs woman, not even 31,
Yeah.
all of Proverbs. I'm not turning down my own house. Like I'm not going to destroy the person that I say that I love, the one that's supposed to be taken care of. I just was wondering. I was like, I can't think of a scenario. So okay, back to the questions.
It was a good one. But Yolanda, I mean, you heard the question. Which part of that bothers you, or do all of the above bother you?
All of the above, I will say. But one thing that black men must understand and realize is that when you do mess with someone, a white woman, excuse me, you're going to risk it all. Is it worth the risk? And this is why, like, if you're fetishing these women and you're just there because you're fetishing them, protect yourself. I mean, it's a simple, just go to the lawyers, protect yourself, draw up some papers. I think they should do that with all women, to be honest with you, to protect themselves. But if you're going to date them, know that there is a risk, and it's only because of the history in this country with white women. And you know what's so strange? Like black men look at white women like kryptonite. Like when they see one, they just go crazy and they lose all their senses. I don't get it. And I'm not saying all black men, some black men, some look at white women as
they look at it as a sign of status when it's really not.
Right. Exactly. But if you're fetishing each other because she want that big black and you want, that white skin, then draw up some contracts and get it going. Do your thing.
Because we are in America.
Oh, baby,
even in talking to my son, not putting his business in the street, I feel like she's abusive to him. He's like, Mom, I can't tell anybody that she's doing this because they're going to walk in, they're going to look at the optics. I'm a black man with tattoos and she's a white woman. They're going to look at me. And I had a client. I took him to court. She's standing over him with a knife. He wakes up, she's over here with a knife, busted out his window, busted all his tires. And the judge said, I'm not going to give you a protective order. I feel like that there was probably years of you abusing her and that made her snap on you and dismiss the case.
So there has to be, if you're going to risk your life and your livelihood, just make sure it's
worth it. One step ahead. You got to be smart.
You know what? I'm sorry, but if that happened to my son, I will whoop her butt myself.
Hey, there's the court, and then there's court in the street.
No,
that's right.
I would have took care of it myself. Because if he's not hitting her, do not put your hands on my child.
But there's been times that I was scared to call the cops when she was doing what she was doing, because I knew when they showed up. I've seen stories where the black man calls and says, I'm having a problem. They show up, handcuff or shoot him. He's the one that needed them.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They got to, is it worth the risk?
I guess that's something that they have to think about. If you don't think about yourself that much to love on yourself, to protect yourself, then there's something wrong. Someone didn't tell you something. Yeah. But he cannot say that he was not warned by people who are also his peers. So I don't want to hear that. But listen, we want to check out this audio, and I want to get everybody's final thoughts on this. Sit back and listen to this, and I want to hear these final thoughts.
Well, you're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Daddy.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested and getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah, I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you do with the shit you did to me.
Okay, well,
Whew.
Yeah.
It's giving Fugazi edit to me.
Okay, so I'm gonna hold, man. I'm gonna hold my peace. Lord knows I'm having a hard time. Marlo, what is your final thoughts on that? And also, please tell us where we can find you.
So my final thought is, dear brothers, dear fathers, dear friends, cousins, don't be old and stupid. Don't be young and stupid. Don't be foolish, right? Be wise. Be a wise decision maker. Make wise decisions so that you don't get caught up. This audio we just heard, definitely my editor ear feels like this is AI. This is not a natural conversation. It feels like it's different pieces pieced and parsed together from different sources, or maybe it's AI. But don't find yourself in this situation. And how do you not find yourself in this situation? You don't find yourself in this situation by being mature about relationships, by being mature about sexual relationships, by having sexual control and not letting your penis do the driving, right? Because we know that the penis has no brain, right? It's a head, no brain. Don't let it drive your car, because when it wrecks, then what you want? Now you come into the court of public opinion. Now you want the black women Monique tried to get to rub your feet and make neck bones for you. Now you want us to do some type of emotional labor. And I'm saying we ain't doing it. Shannon, you looking real goofy out in the streets. And every time that I hear a black man that is over 50 talking about some player shit, I know that that's a man that needs to go to therapy. I don't know what therapist to recommend them to, but I know they need to be there. If you are looking to grow your business and get alignment between your social media presence and your business's web presence, and you want to align those things so that people can determine your character, they can determine your company's character and what your company is about, you should call the Marlo Group. We specialize in SEO and brand alignment. We will help you get all the keywords so that when somebody Googles whatever it is you got going on, like I Googled Shannon Sharpe and gravy today so that I could find out about that gravy baby, the people will find it. Hit up the Marlo Group, schedule an appointment, email us, ask us a question, poke around on the website and look at the things. We appreciate you. It's always fun to be here on Friday. And remember, be wise, not stupid, friends.
Lala.
See, I was trying to be courteous and all quiet and see what happens to these gremlins coming here. Listen, you need to make sure that you go check out Marlo Group, the Marlo Group, because she knows her stuff. She's also a part of the Fly Nubian Money Club. If you missed her class, go sign up. Go do it. We done told you, and if you haven't by now, shame on you. Mr. Connie, what is your final thoughts, and where can we find you?
My final thoughts is be equally yoked with someone your own age, maybe your own race. I don't know, whatever your preference is, but get a wife. And therefore, whatever you do in the bedroom, it will be consensual. You can find me at conniespearman.com. I have a book out that's called Lord, I Hear You. Maybe you can hear from the Lord about who you should be with. And I also have a journal that you can also journal with. So, love you. Be safe.
And you have to get that workbook. Listen, guys, for real, I can't begin to tell you how journaling can help you. And I know that book, because you could just tell by Minister Connie's spirit that she cares and loves on everyone. So why not go ahead and support her on that and get a little bit of healing for yourself too? Yes. Yolanda, what is your final thoughts and where can we find you, love?
Okay. I don't have much to say about this because this is so typical. This is typical behavior. And we've seen things like this happen to Black men over and over again in the media. Okay. But I do want Black men to love themselves so deep. I'm talking about that deep self-love where they protect themselves. They insulate themselves from all of the ills of this world. And it really comes with self-love. Okay. A deep self-love. Anyway, you can find me. I'm on my website, www.mwhitney.com. The name of my company is Michael Whitney and Associates. I'm an insurance broker. We do all types of insurances. We do specialize in business insurance and life insurance. Those are our two specialties. But if you need auto, home, or anything else, we got you. We can insure your pinky toe if you want your pinky toe insured. So just give us a call. Thanks.
I love it. I hear your call. Just give us a call. Make sure that you do that because insurance is a really important business. People think that it's just has to deal with life and death. No, listen. My husband tinkles on them pinatas and guitars, and he needs insurance for hands. I need it for my voice. You need to give her a call. She told you how to do it.
Your legacy, get your money right.
Get it right now. So, what is your final thoughts, and where can we find you, love?
So just like I said about Yolanda, and you got to protect your legacy and your assets. You know, we look at stories like Shannon Sharpe. It's good entertainment. It makes for great conversation. I hope, though, that it makes you think because he is risking assets, wealth, and legacy that could be going to his beautiful daughters and his son. And he's risking it for this controversy and this 19-year-old because he didn't plan ahead, because he didn't do what he needed to do to make sure that he was legally protected. I don't want to see you guys like that. So I do have a freebie for my Fly Nubian Money family. And so you can go to legacy.nicholecompton.com. Nichole has an H, legacy.nicholecompton.com. And there's a free ebook on how to protect your legacy. And there's a couple of other bonuses too. One dealing with how we can learn from mistakes of famous Black men, celebrities who've been in this situation, and we can learn and put and apply those to our lives and how we can protect our reputation or what to do to avoid this happening to you. Because just like it happened to him, it can happen to you. He's got millions. You may have thousands, a few less zeros. But I'm not trying to give away any of my pennies that I don't have to, and neither should you. So let's get protected, you guys. Legacy.nicholecompton.com.
That's right.
All right. You have your marching orders. I can't tell you anything better than that. Being in real estate, I always tell my clients, you must protect yourself and build on that generational wealth. Make sure that you go and check out Nichole. She's got some really great freebies for you and worth your time to do so. Listen, here's my thing. You can love who you want to love. I don't care as long as you're not hurting anybody. But when it comes to something like this, you obviously didn't sit down and think about things through and through. This is not only going to hurt Shannon Sharpe, this is also going to be hurting his family. We have said that he has children that are in their 30s, and this will be carried with them as well. You are not just living for yourself. Yes, we all have a life journey. We all have our own purpose, but we also must still be considerate of those that we love as well, and we must think about their well-being as well. So listen, this ain't nothing new, y'all. This has been around since the very beginning. As I recall, Emmett Till got killed because some white woman accused him of whistling at him. This is nothing new in our community. I hate the fact that we have to sit down and tell our boys and our girls, our younger kids, that this is the reality of the world. And if that's the case, then go ahead and get those NDAs assigned because you must protect yourself and your family and your legacy. Now, if you are tired of America, and you're thinking you want to move somewhere else in the world, yes, you can. It's not impossible. If you're thinking about moving abroad, I have a free quiz and a free newsletter about moving abroad and about Portugal. And it'll help you assess where you are on the plan if you're thinking about moving from the country. You can find that at www.laurakey.net. Go now, because I have a couple of new listings that I'll be putting up, and I'll also be sharing those with you as well. Now, listen, we had a really good conversation. I mean, I was all up in it. I felt like I was sitting here with my coffee with my girlfriends, and that's just the way that it should be, right? But here's the truth of the matter. Whether you are a fan of Shannon Sharpe or not, this situation forces us to ask the bigger questions about privacy, power, and the price of success. In a world where one wrong move can cost you millions, how do you protect your mind, your money, and your legacy? Let's keep this conversation going because when it comes to success, I think you know the stakes are high. And I also know that Fly Nubian Money is here to help you. So make sure that you do all the resources. We done told you a lot of things to do to help you get your financial house in order. Please do so. We're still going to take today and not spend money where it don't belong. Hope you're doing the same. It's Friday, and we hope that you have a beautiful weekend. Thank you for joining us. You know why? Because you could be somewhere else. And there are many of you here today that are here every single day, and we love you and we appreciate you. So until next week, be the light in someone's world. Peace out. Bye.
Bye-bye. Love you.